Okay, welcome back to the YouTube live channel. Today's topic is doing jazz improvisation, following on from what we learned in the classroom last term. So I'm going to bring you over to my web browser now. This lesson will be done entirely online. Today in the video, it's more of a tutorial on how to do this task, and then you may then actually do your own jazz improvisation and record it to submit to me once this video is over. So I'll bring you over to my window, which is right here. And today's lesson is on Compass as always, and the two links that you need are here. And that gives you a YouTube clip of the accompaniment that we've been improvising over in class. But the tool that's going to be most important to us is this piano. I've chosen this piano because it's a good one because you can mark the keys by clicking mark. So like in the moment I'll show you a scale that we can use, but you can mark any notes using the red dots, and then if you go to play mode you can then click on the keys using your mouse to play the notes. I'm going to clear those dots and show you what to do now. So during term 1 we learned that when improvising over the 12 bar blues progression, that a good scale to use to improvise with is the blues scale, and the blues scale works really well because the notes fit in nicely and harmonize well with the chords in the progression. So let's try and remember, what key are we in? We're working in the key of, you can see the first chord is C7 or C. It's a C7 chord, although we don't know what a 7 chord means yet in our Year 10 music course, but some of you might be familiar with what that means. But it's a C chord, so our progression is in the key of C, so we're going to be playing a C blues scale. So there's C, click on C4, that is the key note or the tonic note of the C blues scale. Make sure you're in mark mode to get these red dots onto your keyboard. Even if you're playing on a proper keyboard at home, if you own one, I'd strongly suggest doing this on your screen now so that you know what the scale is. Of course, we've learnt this and made notes of what the scale is in our workbooks as well. So the C blues scale is C, E flat, F, G flat, G, B flat and C. So C, E flat, F, G flat, G, B flat, C. Now some of you might be asking, oh, why isn't that called F sharp? Well, it actually can be called F sharp, but I'm calling it G flat in this instance because when you get to Year 12 VCE music, the way the study design asks you to write a blues scale is with a flat 5, not a sharp 4. Okay, so once you've got the notes dotted out so you know which ones to play, so watch carefully, copy what I've done exactly in this video. You can then move to the play mode, and then you can play up and down the scale. I'll give you just a few moments to pop your dots onto your keyboard now. I'll play you a tune while we're waiting. Cool. Hopefully you've had enough time to pop that scale on to your keyboard. Sorry about the rhythmic errors there, it's a bit hard to play with the mouse. So here is our C blues scale. I'll copy one more time. I'll demonstrate, sorry, what you're going to do, and then you'll copy afterwards. So that is the scale. If you want to join in and play along with me now, please play along with me. Ready, go. So that's the scale. Now, hopefully you've got your YouTube link in another window. Let's have a look. We will have a silly, annoying ad at the start, but you can click through that once it's done. Let's have a quick listen to that progression one more time on the way through. I'll hover my mouse over the chords as they are played. So that pattern, once through up to the 25-second mark in the recording, is one time through the progression. So as a part of your task, when you record a solo for me today, one time through the progression is enough. I know data is an issue for some, so you don't want to be uploading a massively long file, so I'm happy with one time through. But if you're really getting into it and want to go through the progression more than once, that's fine too. Sound files are perfectly okay, but if you want a video, that's great too. But again, be aware of the data that's used uploading video as opposed to just audio. So what I'll do is I'll give you a bit of another tutorial on how we go about improvising. So when we first improvised in class, we started off with a one-note improvisation to keep things simple, just to focus on the rhythm. Then we expanded out, maybe just using 2 notes, and then 3 notes, and so on, until we got more confident with the scale and how to improvise. I'm just going to demonstrate now, and I'll talk along as I go. Hopefully my microphone will pick up my voice well while the sound is being recorded as well. This is what we're sort of looking at. So. I commenced by just using 1 note, got a bit of a rhythm going. Notice I tried to use a bit of a swing rhythm. Not as easy as it looks using a mouse, but I did my best. You tried to. Once I was confident with that, I just expanded out to the 1st and 2nd notes of the scale. Once I was confident with that, the first 3 notes of the scale, and so forth. I'm not saying that's how you do an improvisation every time, but once you're just trying to get while you're trying to get your skill set up, that's absolutely fine. Eventually, you can work your way over the entire scale. Notice that I didn't jump all over the place. Like if I was to go like this. Oops, hit a few wrong notes, but it sounds really disjointed. So when you're doing a solo, generally try to stick by step, move from note to note, that is red dot to red dot. Not saying you have to constantly just go by step, but where you do move, don't jump too far. Jump 2 dots ahead maybe, or 3 or 4 at most, but don't constantly just jump backwards and forwards like a chicken hen pecking food off the ground when the grain's been thrown out into the ground for it. But yeah, try and keep it fairly smooth. So I'm going to demonstrate again an example of how you could do a solo. I'm going to pull it back to the start and then go into it. Sorry, I hit the wrong note there. I'll start again. there you go. That's how you go about improvising a solo. Now you might have noticed occasionally I hit the wrong note. For example, a few times I hit a B. It's not so easy with the mouse, and it's even trickier if you're using your touchpad. But similarly, when you're improvising on a piano, you might hit the no wrong notes, but you might hit a note that's not planned in the scale, and you would have noticed that if I hit that note that was not one of the marked ones, then you just move to the note directly nearest to it, and that's a marked note, and you'll find that things will keep on going just fine. Because as a wise teacher, my improvisation teacher from Year 9, Mary Roby, if you're watching the channel one day, shout out to Mary Roby, wonderful jazz teacher. She always said that there's no such thing as a wrong note in jazz improvisation, just a poorly chosen one. And I've always remembered that. I did that course back in Year 9, so we're talking about like 1992, but it was really good advice. Improvisation is all about your creativity. So there's no such thing really as a wrong note, but certainly there are notes that could sound nicer. So hence why we've picked a scale that fits well. Cool. So just to answer some of your questions, so this scale, Ubi, is the C blues scale. So it'll be here in the video for you to rewatch there. So yeah, the name of the scale is the C blues. Just to remind you, some of you said you couldn't find the stream initially. Whilst these streams are published on my YouTube live channel, I've actually disabled public viewing whilst the streams are happening, just so we don't have any intruders into the live chat. Not that we've had any yet, but just to keep things safe, you'll need to always enter these live streams from the link in our Compass lesson. But of course, once the lesson is over, they will be made public, so you can all go back and watch them again directly from my channel. And also any other musicians or even non-musicians who are joining us on the Christopher Sluice channel to learn more about music, you're more than welcome to watch these and learn from them, and certainly give me some feedback in the comments if you like what you're hearing. So just to let you know again what your task is if you could now spend the rest of this lesson practicing an improvisation against the 12 Bar Blues backing track. When you're happy that you've got something that you think sounds good, then just either use the voice recorder app in Windows or use your voice recorder on your phone. Some of you might want to video yourself playing your solo, either through screen capture or just using your phone. Maybe get your brother or sister or parent to hold the phone and record you. But video is not compulsory. But please send me a sound file into this week's remote learning task of an improvisation that you've created at least once through the progression. And if we can get that done today, that would be absolutely fantastic. And don't forget that there are still, as always, 3 musictheory.net links to go through and complete as a part of your homework for this week. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure taking you through some revision of jazz improvisation, following on from what we learned in class last term. I look forward to hearing your improvisations, and we'll head back to the Zoom classroom now so you can ask any questions that you may need to ask. So, signing off here from the live channel. Have a good day. See you back in Zoom.